Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been so long, and it has been. We've been celebrating the Passover holiday, and here we are. Hopefully, we passed over it and going to the new level that we've all been yearning and longing for. So it's very exciting. So much to share. And I want to start with something that actually brought me to tears. In Tanya, it actually was teaching how it's amazing if you get to experience love of HaShem and yirat HaShem, and you just long and yearn to escape into the spirituality, to feel that closeness and that oneness, and it's all wonderful. But there's higher and higher levels, even after hopefully being able to attain that kind of level. But the key point of this Tanya that just unbelievably, I was like, whoa. And I'll explain. I'm still almost speechless having read it. And it actually talked about how, as much as that's amazing, but there's something about it that it's almost self-serving. Oh, you're enjoying to be close to God. You're enjoying to feel that sensation of awe and wonderment and love of Hashem. So there's this you in it. The higher level is you want to give God the joy of the reunion. How many years?
You're making a beautiful session, Baba.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. So, so the idea is that you want to go to a next level where it's not about you. It's about the fact that you're experiencing making God happy. And that's a higher level because...
Say something about teaching Torah.
Surely. Thank you so much. You're so cute. He really wanted to join this, and he really wanted to be part of this. Some of you who are on my CBTT group, he when he hears me, he gives a Devar Torah, so he is in action. Hold on one second. Parents don't really allow him to be online, so that's why I don't care. He could sit here and you can watch. He's so cute. But one second.
But we did it last time.
I know last time was a different group, and that was a group that wasn't being recorded. This is being recorded. They're gonna see you, and Mama and Dada, remember, they don't want your face to be recorded. Okay?
But because they can do not nice things.
Well, it's a good question. Sometimes people take pictures of pictures online and do things with it without your permission. Let's say that. And that's not nice. Yeah. Okay? So,
but why do that you go on the phone?
Because I'm an adult, and it's a little different when children's pictures are taken, because then they might, do the things that with the pictures that are not permissible, and they can use it without permission. That's not permissible. They could do it on my face too, but I'm an adult, so.
But at the end?
Okay, yes, at the end, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you another chance, all right?
Okay.
I know you want to share. Thank you. Anyway, oh my gosh, so cute, right? Back to the back to this amazing feeling of your own love versus...
I like all of them. I like all of your sessions.
You do?
Yeah.
You're so cute. You're winning my heart over a zillion times. You can come anytime and be my cheerleader. So the idea is... I'm trying here. It's just melting my heart. Thank you so much. I want to hug you forever, truly. That's so sweet. Okay, so you're going to learn from what I'm saying is there's a part of you that wants to, of course, experience the ultimate, right? But the ultimate is that having the joy that you made God happy, that you're returning to him. And God is so happy that you're returning back. And we all experience the heartache and the burning sensation of wanting those hostages to come back home. And like, when they came back home, we were like so happy, right? So like, God is so happy. Every time we do a mitzvah, it's like we're returning our soul to HaShem, and that makes him so happy. So then I was thinking, and this is what brought me to like utter tears. Like, I was like, can you imagine how much joy he has that we're returning our soul to him? That means like how precious each and every one of us, is. So it's just unbelievable. Like, so many people have such heartache. They don't feel good enough. They feel like, why can't I be like Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Or why can't I even be like my neighbor who is managing with 10 kids and does it all, and I barely have whatever, and I'm not managing like she's managing. And I'm just telling you, like, years and years of hearing people's stories of how hard it is for them to like love themselves. So when you hear how much HaShem loves us, he's like waiting like at the door for us to like do another mitzvah, to be connected again to him in this holy, most awesome, wholesome way. So the idea, what we have to understand is like how to experience even more self-love with knowing that. Now, this week's parsha actually talks about something so profound also that is connected to this level of joy of making others happy. Like, because if we can train ourselves to do it with God, then it'll manifest itself more and more to make others happy. Because we've trained ourselves to like, who cares about me? Like, the greatest joy is when I make others happy. Remember that story with Baruch and he...
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go outside.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Call me when it's the end, and I'll come.
Okay. Okay, you'll say the Devar Torah when it's not recording it. Okay. So, I have to give you a little lesson here. When I was about to do my first children's program, and I decided I'll go with my grandson, and I'll do it, not my grandson, my own son. And I was at this place. It was like audience of, I don't know, seemed like 100 or more children. And it was finally, I'm getting back to doing my children's program. My whole life I did children's program. And the baby was sleeping, everything's wonderful, and this is his sleeping time. But then all of a sudden he woke up. And he was right there in front of the stage so I can keep an eye. And there was a babysitter. Not my babysitter. Meaning one of the teachers, the idea was that they would watch just in case, and then I would, feel comfortable that he's right there. Well, he was crying, and I was like, oh no, I didn't know what to do. And the baby was then, I went to my baby and I held it. And then the lady who was watching it, don't worry, I'll take her, him, and I'll go out. And I was like, no, I can't. He's just a stranger. He doesn't know her. Like, it's not possible. And I was just like torn. Kids, 100, me, baby crying. Of course I went with my baby. But after I felt so terrible, like what idea I had, what did I think? Somehow the miracle didn't happen that he really slept.
Actually, did you hear him when I'm crying? I wonder if it disturbed you. It was hard for her to poop, so did you hear him when I'm crying?
Yeah, I did hear her crying, but Mom was with her, so that's why I didn't go. So the baby was crying, and I held it, my baby, and I ran out with the baby, feeling shame that, I flopped. This was a big school, a big opportunity to open the doors for more opportunities. And after I told my friend, I felt shamed, I felt horrible, I felt terrible about myself, having even thought of the idea that it could work out. And lo and behold, she said, no, you did the right thing. And I know I did the right thing, but you still feel miserable, thinking you did, you messed up. And she said, no, that message to the children, they'll remember more than any words you would have taught them in a drama or a play or a puppet show. Like, they saw that you chose your baby first, and that was a huge lesson, and that's it. So I'm remembering this because, like, right now, with my grandson, he'll remember that I chose him first, and maybe you'll also get the message that sometimes you just have to go with the flow and do what you can under the circumstance to make the other happy. So this week's parsha actually talks about interesting pasuk, and this is traditionally recited at the weddings when they give the blessings. May the barren woman greatly rejoice and be glad at the gathering into her midst of her sons with joy. So we see here, first of all, that it's a barren woman. But then it talks about her sons and her children, and that she's happy. And she's glad. So I'm going to give you a little advice on in Judaism of what actually is taught. Like, the more you're happy with what you don't have, and you're okay with it, and you feel grateful for all the other things you do have, the more the miracle can happen that you'll be happy because you end up getting what you don't have. Get it? You'll get it. It's like you're actually bereft of something, and whether finances, whether your health, whether you haven't had a baby, or your marriage that you want. So the more you work on not letting it break you, the more you show emunah and trust in HaShem that, it's His choice. It's when He decides, if and whenever, and like, I'm okay with it. I trust HaShem, and like, I'm not going to let it choke me, depress me, bother me. So like, that actually causes like an unbelievable door opening for the miracle to happen, because like, you passed the test. The test was, are you going to have faith in God? Are you going to trust that God is behind everything? And when you show that you do, then God says, okay, you don't need that test anymore. And like, here it is. This is your reward for passing the test. But Hasidus also teaches something very deep about this message of this pasuk, because it does say she's barren. And it does say that she's rejoicing. And it does say that in the end that she's going to have like all this amazing reasons to rejoice, that she just does have her children. And she does experience the miracle of what she didn't have. So when you read this sentence, it's not only about a woman that is not able to have a baby, meaning we, the Jewish people, and we, those that are part of the seven Noachite group, that are, choosing God, and we are considered like a wife. We're the woman in the relationship to God, in a sense, right? So God is our husband. So the woman who is barren, and barren means like, wow, we're bereft of our spiritual practices. Maybe we didn't daven as much and pray like we could have and should have. And maybe we're not learning as much as, life is tough, and getting that time in the morning and in the night to get it in. We're skimming by. We're barely doing the bare minimums, right? So we're really not full term. We haven't like created this full array of spiritual emotions. We're barren, God forbid. But if we have simcha shel mitzvah, and that's the key here, we're happy to unite with God. We're happy to make God happy that we're uniting when we do whatever mitzvahs that we do, whatever low level it's at. And we just add that simcha, that happiness. Then God considers that we're not barren. Then God, not only rewards us for having been so happy to do the mitzvah and so happy to cause him happiness of our returning to HaShem, that he actually makes our Yetzer Hara, our evil inclination, our desires and our temptations to sin. Let's say someone's dealing with anger, or someone's dealing with anxieties. The evil inclination pushes the person and tempts them. Or someone who has addictions, they're just, they can't break their addictions. It's so hard. So if they increase in their happiness of doing a mitzvah, and that's why I really love Breslov, the way and the Breslov Rebbe say, do anything that's going to make you happy. Just be silly. Of course, kosher things, but do what it takes to get yourself to be happy. And so that you'll be able to experience this diminishing of this other side of you in whatever challenge emotionally that you may be suffering or wanting and yearning to be free of it already. Not only that, but you're opening a door for unbelievable protection. Let me say that, because I'll read it to you here. It's okay. And this is from Lukatei Torah and by the Alter Rebbe, and in Yitzchak David Wakshaw, Words of the Living God. This is his book, who translates it for us, and it's just you can't let go of this secret ammunition here, not only to be able to lessen this other side of you that's just the ongoing battle of your whole life, but when we get to this level, simcha shel mitzvah, it actually makes Hashem happy. It arouses this joy, elicits a joy from Hashem. So then, when Hashem is so happy, he ignores the regular protocol of what's going on in your life, and almost erasing sins and erasing mishaps and erasing, any kind of calculation, and it's just overlooking things. And then he gifts us with this level of ahava rabba, which is a great level of being able to love Hashem like a tzaddik. Whoa, we're bereft, we're barren, we didn't really do the work like we should have, but yet we can experience this love of God as if we're tzaddik and we're on this high level, like a full-term, woman here that is full of offspring of love and of Hashem that God gives us, with having maybe done not as much work as the tzaddik. So it's like a shortcut. It's it allows us to bypass or pass over as a not number one choice, because we should do the work. We should pray and meditate, and we should learn Torah, because that's unbelievable nourishment for our soul. And we've gone through, it's unbelievable, soul everything. Nutrition, ammunition, transformation, revelation, you name it. Like davening and learning is it, especially with meditation. But sometimes we need a little extra help. And we can't wait till finally the 9th month pregnancy is going to come to birth, as it were. And we want we want the birth now. We want to experience less of this Yetzer Hara. We want to experience, the aversion of negativity. We want, we want it now. Mashiach now. So, we want less of the temptation. We want less of the struggle. We want to be free. We really want to taste the Geula now. So this is the way to taste Geula now. Geula being the redemption of the inner struggle and the battle within. Now, let me tell you, if you look at the word Mashiach, it has the word Sameach. The same 3 letters, which is happiness. We always say happiness is not where you live. It's not what city you live in. It's in the state of your mind. So you definitely can fake it till you make it, and get there faster by that. But the Yud in Mashiach represents the 10 faculties. The Yud is equivalent to 10. So we're trying our best to maximize our 10 faculties of our soul. And by the way, I'm doing a Sphira 7x7 course that if you want to join, PM me, and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group, and you can PM me by emailing me, saneforlife@gmail.com. And we're just around the corner. We're already at the graphics and production level of this book, so it's very exciting. And so that the more we do this inner work, which we should do, then of course we're going to have more simcha, because when we're able to sense our refinement, and when we're able to have that self-mastery, as the Gemara says, who is the happy person? He or she who knows when to say something and when not to. Like, when you're able to have that control and that self-mastery. Other places in the Torah talk about there's no other way by which one can get the maximum level of joy but for making others happy. Because everything else is a bit self-serving, and everything is intermingled with ego, and it's not as value. When it's pure, unadulterated happiness for making others happy. Because then it's not about you. It's about them. And that's pure and holy. Then we can be that superconductor. That's a pure metal. That 100% of godliness is flowing through us to the other. And we're fulfilling our mission in the world. So interesting that when this man was very, very depressed for years. He was a rabbi, but he got sick and he lost his wife. Everything was just, and someone suggested he go to the Rebbe. And I got this many stories. Wow. Another book that, Letters for Life. This is a gift my daughter actually got. And I'm like, I'm reading it for the first time. So many stories. And the Rebbe again and again just says, just do something for somebody else. Start teaching a class. And he started teaching just once a week, Gemara. He didn't, for a year, listen to the Rebbe's advice when he did go. And then finally he's like, you know what, let me try. So he started teaching a class once a week only. And his life turned around. He felt the depression completely leave him. Another story of a woman who was very depressed. And the Rebbe gave her an instruction, go to as many possible weddings and make the Chatan, the Kala happy by going there, but the instruction was to dance and dance the night away and make the party happening, as they say. And she became known as the dancer, and she had qualifications. She was a good dancer, by the way. She had a background in studying dance, so she just went night after night, as much as she could, till her old age, till her dying days. And in the book, it interviewed people who remember her dancing at these weddings. And they say that she really brought so much simcha to the weddings, so much joy, and that till this day people remember her, and it was like her legacy of a sort. But of course, her causing others to be happy then gave her a sense of a mission and importance, and she saw the impact on people, and it actually transformed her, and she was no longer depressed. So, like, definitely when we talk about relationships, we talk about opportunities to do what we can to make a difference in other people's lives, instead of, thinking that I'll love them when they start loving me, or I'll do for them when I see they're doing for me. And that's just not a good place, because then you could be waiting for a long time. But to take the initiative and say it's not even about them, although it is about them in a sense, because by doing good to them, you're increasing their stamina to, like, develop self-confidence, self-love, self-importance, and reassurance. And in the end, when you build them up, then they'll be able to be more giving back to you. But again, it's not about you getting back. So we see that we want to try our best to reach that level of being happy to help others. Because one, that's a mitzvah. And doing that mitzvah with happiness, it's called mitzvah, simchas, mitzvah shel simcha. But then there's the simcha shel mitzvah, both ways. It's like you're happy to do the mitzvah, but then there's a mitzvah of being happy. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Ivdu, work. It's a service. You have to work at it to be b'simcha. So it's very easy to, like, cave in and, like, wait, because you're almost like wallowing in your own self-pity and your own hurt and your own pain, that they're not there for you like you would have wanted, or you waiting till they'll chop it, as they say. They'll get it on their own. How, like, you're waiting, and you could be waiting and waiting, and all the while you could be making a huge difference by impacting them by your giving with joy. Giving them the respect with joy. Giving them the honor with joy, whether they deserve it or not. That's huge. So many stories where the Rebbe actually was teaching this message. And in this book, wow. I'm only 50 page into this 290 or 300 page book here. But I know one story where the Rebbe, before he was the Rebbe, and he is the father-in-law, the son-in-law of the Frierdiker Rebbe, which was the Rebbe before him, the previous Rebbe, Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson. And he was being, not scolded, but like being told that he's giving too much honor to the secular and the ones that weren't religious and the ones that were rebelling and off the derech. It's a term that's used, off the path, And so he went to the Frierdiker Rebbe, his father-in-law, and said, they're telling me that I shouldn't give so much honor and respect. And the Frierdiker Rebbe actually said, no, this is the way. This is the way, because that's gonna actually draw them near, and that's gonna help them become more willing to go back on the path. So, and the Frierdiker Rebbe actually gave an example of like a special needs child. Like if you have a special needs child, he needs a little extra special love because he's missing lots in his life, and he's watching everyone else have the things that he does and is not capable of doing. So he needs an extra special kind of love. And this is what's going to help. And just like Aaron a Kohen, in the Bible it said that he honored even the wicked, and the wicked were coming back to the fold because of his honor and respecting them and loving them, because they said they felt like somebody, and that influenced them and healed them and made them want to come back, because they say, oh wow, if this is what Torah observant Judaism does to some person, then it makes them yearn and long for what they see in the other, because that's what they don't have. Maybe they didn't get it as children from their parents. Maybe they didn't get it from their Rebbe in yeshiva. Whatever it is that caused this child to go off the path. And there was a beautiful story in the Bible that goes back, way back, and it talks about Yaakov, who's running for his life, and Esav, who's out to kill him, his own brother, and he actually sends his son to finish the job, and when he meets up with his own uncle, and he's torn, because on the one hand, he wants to honor his father and finish the deed and get rid of this brother who stole his birthright. And on the one hand, like, he wants to honor his father. But on the other hand, he has this image popping up in his mind of his grandfather who loved him, the image of him sitting on his grandfather's lap, and the love he received from his grandfather, he felt he couldn't disappoint his grandfather because he loved him so much. What would my grandfather think of me that I killed his son? So what does he do? He decides to honor them both. He doesn't kill Yaakov, as we know. He was the father of the generation, and the Rebbe said, had he killed him, there would be no more Jews. But he steals all the whatever Yaakov had and made him like a dead person because now he had zero cash. And as the Gemara teaches us, you know, the poor and destitute are you know, feel dead because they don't have how to sustain themselves. So he was able to make him dead, but at the same time not kill him, and honor his grandfather, who loved him so much, even as he wasn't the best of boys. So the Rebbe points out, imagine Avraham and Yitzchak, and there wouldn't be no Yaakov, no legacy, that would have been it. It's over, no more Jewish people. And all that came from, where did it all come from, this saving grace? It came from Yitzchak loving his grandson, who was not a good boy, off the derech, rebellious, wicked, one of the wicked sons, ready to murder. Can you imagine? It's like hard to wrap your head around this story. But it really, because like, imagine Yitzhak all his life giving love, oh, doting, buying presents, doing whatever you can for this child, you know, trying to teach him, taking this horse to the water's edge, and the horse is not drinking the water. And you feel like a failure maybe, and you feel like, what's all this effort for? Nothing's changing. It's just like a clot of clay. It's just like dense. It's like not getting through. No results of all my efforts. And trust me, I know many women who would like feel the same way. How much they did for their children. How much did they sacrifice, and yet can't seem to get through. For whatever reason. You're talking about holy tzaddikim. And it seemed like it went nowhere. And then but it did go somewhere. It saved Yaakov's life. It saved the whole nation of our people from that unconditional love to this little boy. And not so little. Brings me back to, because we're nearing Shavuot. We're not nearing, but we're getting there. We've been counting every day. But, you know, when the Torah was given, there was no echo. When God was saying the 10 Commandments, well, he said the first 2. He was willing to give the 10, but the Jewish people had such a intense revelation they couldn't handle anymore, and they asked Moshe, please, you go up and get the rest. But the 2 that he did say was clear and with no echo. Now, normally you're in the mountain, and the mountain makes an echo. And imagine such a profound, powerful voice as God. How much more it should have been an echo. But there was no echo, purposefully. And the miracle happened, not just so the people will not feel like there was a war between one God and the other. I am your God. And then another voice, I am your God. So yeah, that wouldn't have been really good. A bit confusing. But no, the reason God did that, besides maybe that reason as well, I mean, I just think, didn't read it anywhere there, but I did read from the Lubavitcher Rebbe that the reason why there was no echo is to show us that when God's voice spoke, it was so powerful that it penetrated every physical thing around. Now, if that's the case, we have to realize every mitzvah we do, every kind deed, every nice word, seems like we're not getting echoed back our effort. Like either we don't have a job yet, and like our bank account is at zero, and how much you did self-sacrifice to produce things and to have guests over and to have parties at your house. And like, it's just like, where's the echo? Where's the payback? That's one thing between you and God. And then there's the other. And that is between you and a person. How much you did for some person. Sometimes your own child, or sometimes your own spouse. And it's like, hello, by time now you get echoing back, payback, like some respect back, or some extra, like, kindness back. And you want it to be, on the same level, match up. But it's not. And sometimes it's like infinity compared to like zero. Well, at least it feels like that sometimes. You get the point. And the point is that it hurts. And yeah, it's frustrating. And we got to get rid of those calculations, because they're not healthy, those calculations. Because even if we're not seeing the results, it's penetrating the world. It's penetrating the elements of Gevura, which is the strictness, the judgment, the negative forces, and it's turning them into chassadim, and it's bringing Mashiach closer. Even if in our own eyes we're not seeing the immediate payback, even if in our lifetime we may not see it as much as we thought we should have seen it, God forbid. But the more we let go of it, and the more we say, I know it's penetrating the world. I know it's changing the world for the better. And I can't wait. There'll be a day, and I will see all the different, points of how it did change the world for the better. I have to say, I'm actually seriously celebrating since Shabbat every day. Well, besides the fact that I read this as I was reading next week's portion, and I was just like loving it, what I just shared with you. But my husband was coming out of shul, and I feel like I should put it on Facebook and show the video. And he's walking out, and a scooter, a motor scooter, not like a big bike scooter, like a motorcycle scooter, was on the sidewalk and ran over my husband, and he went flying, and he hit the ground. It's a miracle that he's alive, and that, yeah, he had to go to the MRI, see what's going on. It's hurting him to walk, but thank God his back is not broken. Thank God he's not in a wheelchair right now. I mean, and we'll see but it's crazy miracle that it could have been worse. It could have been so much way worse. One, that Shabbat, my grandson didn't go, because sometimes my grandson goes with my husband and I stay with the baby at home and help out, and so I didn't go that Shabbat with the baby, and my grandson was out with my husband. And if we were all there, all coming out together, who knows, God forbid. And it's just a huge miracle. Happened to be that this person that hit my husband is a Jewish person, a religious Jewish person, and that went off the path. And who knows, maybe this whole incident is going to help this boy come back to the path. And that's our prayer, because he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing on Shabbat, riding a motorcycle, and we don't know all the variables of why my husband, why him at this moment with this boy, and what's going to become of it. But we know that everything is from Hashem. And we always have to say, whatever happens, we have to just say it's from Hashem. Zeu, as they say in Hebrew. That's it. And it's from Hashem. I trust Hashem, and it's going to be good, whatever way it turns out. And to keep our simcha, to keep our joy in every opportunity, to do what we can to make the other happy and to make the other feel loved and feel respected. And even if we don't think they deserve it, and even if we think like it hasn't been echoing back to us, and it's just, even if we're barren, right? God will make us so full of everything as if we really got to that high level. Okay, Sruli, I know you've been waiting patiently.
Zadie, Baba, we're having dinner now. Do you want to come to eat dinner?
Thank
we're
you.
having schnitzel and rice.
Okay, so do you want to say the Devar Torah, but without being on the video? Okay, go ahead. Say
Okay.
the Devar Torah.
So, once...
Oh, but you can just stand here.
Why?
Because remember, we don't want you to be on the video. Just say it from here. Go ahead. They can hear you.
But turn that off too.
But then no one will be able to hear you if I turn it off. Okay, I'll put it down. You want me to put it down?
Turn that off too.
Okay, I'll turn this off. Oh, so you just want to tell me the Devar Torah?
No. Just stand that off like that, like that.
Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll just put it down. Okay, there you go.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so that was.
You want to talk about the four that when they were at Kriyat Yamsuf? Okay, we're back here. Okay, we're still here. Okay.
So the I'm thinking of a new development, but I can't.
So tell an old Devar Torah.
What?
So maybe say a Devar Torah that you said yesterday.
But I want to say a new development.
Okay, whatever you want. Okay.
But I haven't come up with something yet.
So maybe come up for the next class that I'm doing, and now just do an old one.
Okay, fine. So I'm thinking of something that's new.
Okay.
So
But that's come closer so they could hear you.
No, I can't. I want to get exercise.
But okay. Go ahead. I hope they can hear you.
What?
I hope they can hear you.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so there was a man, and he didn't have any money, and one day he found some gold. So once upon a time there was a man, and he didn't have any money to buy kosher food. His house was empty, but he was very hungry because he was homeless. And one day he was walking on the sidewalk, seeing 4, 5, 6 bags, 7 bags, 8 bags of gold. He was thinking, should I take this home? Baba, do you know this is a new development?
Yeah, I never heard it for you. Yeah, so he was thinking whether to take the 8 bags of gold. He was so poor and he didn't have any money. Wow.
So he was so poor, he didn't have any what?
When you do that, it makes noise. So maybe wait to do that.
What?
They're gonna hear you moving back and forth.
No, I'm not doing
Okay.
So this man was very holy. He was connected to HaShem, God. He was connected to God. So that man was very holy. He was connected to God. So one day he used the gold, but he didn't find any gold in just live in this place now.
Uh-huh.
Hotel.
Wow.
So that's my devoto, and I want to tell you another devoto.
Okay, go for another one. I hear someone saying, wow, you're so cute. I'm seeing the responses here.
There was a man. Once upon a time, there was a man, and he was very holy.
He was holy too, very holy. Wow.
And his name was Yosef.
Ah.
And he decided to go on, and he loved Sabbath. Every time Sabbath came, he wanted to buy best diamonds and best food for Sabbath. One day he went on a walk with his beautiful diamond on a bridge, and a gust of wind came and threw his hat in the water and in the river, and he was screaming, my hat, my hat, my hat! Someone quickly jump in the water! Jump in the water! Jump in the water! Jump in the water! Before a fish eats it! But suddenly a fish came and ate his hat.
Oh no.
And he was crying. So one day Sabbath came and he wanted to buy fish. So he came to the fish market and the fish said, hello, Yosef, I have a beautiful fish for you, the one that you just like. So he said, so the fisherman showed Yosef the fish, and he said, okay, I'll take this one. So he took it, and his wife cut the salad and cut everything for Shabbat, and even the desserts.
Yeah.
So she cut up the fish in pieces, but when she cut up it, a miracle happened.
What miracle?
A diamond was in the fish, and it swallowed the diamond.
Wow.
Sarah's hat.
Wow.
The diamond. And he was screaming, Yosef, 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 come and look at this beautiful diamond. So Yosef ran to his wife, and he said, oh, this beautiful diamond, we'll keep this. So they will have lots of guests for Sabbath, and they made lots of money, and they lived happily ever after, and they had a nice Sabbath.
Wow, Sruli, I think you should have your own podcast and every week give a class. Your own, because you know all these stories and you say it's so beautiful. I'm so proud of you for sharing. Love you.
Oh, love you too.
Okay, you heard it from the mouth of the babe. Blessings for a wonderful week. We'll meet up next week on Tuesday. Maybe he'll be my partner. I don't know. I don't care. Steal the show. It's so cute. Amazing. Really amazing. You said, oh, the woman said you're amazing. The woman who's on here is hearing it. Okay. Love you all. Better go for dinner.